first of the crew members now out of the Soyuz capsule. That's the Soyuz commander, Dimitry Kondratyev, home after 159 days in space and a flawless entry and landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan. Back with us, Josh Byerly, NASA Public Affairs Officer at the landing site. Josh, it looks like a gorgeous day out there.
You actually could not ask for better weather, better operations. I mean, this has just been fairly easy from beginning to end. I mean, the weather's probably in the upper 70s right now. You can see they're taking the commander out now. They just got him out of the capsule. You also notice the capsule is actually upright, which doesn't happen too often. I took a look at the bottom of it. It doesn't look like it actually bounced that much. Like there's a divot in the ground probably 5 to 6 feet away from it, and that's it. So it's been pretty flawless so far from here in Kazakhstan. The weather is cooperating. The Russian teams here, the search and recovery forces, are making quick work as they always do of these operations, and the entire NASA team has now arrived, even those that came directly from the city of Karaganda this morning, as well as those of us that came in from Zhezkazgan.
Josh, Kondratyev, who trained for years for this first flight and as commander of Expedition 27, looks none the worse for wear. And we had remarkable live video of the Soyuz during its descent for several minutes before touchdown.
Yeah, actually, you know, you've done this several times, just like I have. It's rare when we actually get to see it out of the helicopter. You know, the media helicopter that gets here first gets to see it, but we actually could see it out our front windshield today, which is pretty remarkable. There's Cady. Cady is actually smiling hugely right now.
Cady Coleman, NASA astronaut, home after her third flight in space, flashing the broad smile that is her signature. Now having logged 179 days in space on her 3 flights, also appearing to be in great shape. Josh?
Yeah, Cady is smiling like she always does, and they are beginning to move her over to the chairs. The crowd here is now clapping for her, and they also have some flowers they're about to give to her. But she looks extremely, extremely well.
The flight control team here in the ISS flight control room having a chuckle, since it only took one person to carry Cady Coleman to her reclining chair, as opposed to 2 that were required for Dimitry Kondratyev.
Yeah, I've actually never seen that before, but they, whoever that gentleman was, moved her over there fairly quickly.
I must tell you, Josh, from what we can see here, at least for Kondratyev and Coleman, in all the times I've been out there and the times that you've been out there, I can't recall 2 crew members who have emerged from the Soyuz spacecraft appearing at least to be in better shape than these 2.
No, I mean, you know, these Soyuz landings are definitely not for the faint of heart, and I think anybody you talk to that's ever been in one would tell you that. But no, this crew is looking better than most I've ever seen, and I don't know if it's a combination of the flight or the fact that they've got such beautiful weather down here. I mean, you know, sometimes, as you've experienced last time, this weather in Kazakhstan can be a bit jolting, to say the least. But, I mean, it's just a gorgeous day out here. The wind is just barely blowing. And the crew just looks fantastic.
Right by Cady Coleman is her flight surgeon, Dr. Steve Hart, and you saw just a moment ago, and he is appearing from time to time in the field of view, the Deputy ISS Program Manager, Kirk Shireman, part of the NASA team that is embedded with the search and recovery forces for this return of the Expedition 27 crew. We're awaiting the extraction of European Space Agency flight engineer Paolo Nespoli, who was the videographer and digital still photographer earlier today during the undocking and the backaway of the Soyuz from the Rosviet module. Now you can see Joel Montalbano next to Cady Coleman, the director of human spaceflight programs in Russia, and Peggy Whitson, the chief of NASA's astronaut office, in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Josh, it looks like Kondratyev first on the satellite phone to talk to family members back home.
Yeah, and they're going to give Cady the phone here in a little bit for her to talk to her family. Whenever I was talking to Steve Hart earlier today, there's two important things that he said that he had. One was the phone so Cady could call her family. The second thing was, of course, her passport, which is a little-known fact that these astronauts and cosmonauts actually do have to have passports because technically this is entering the country of Kazakhstan. So a little piece of trivia for you there. But Cady should be calling her family here shortly.
And there's a view of Paolo Nespoli, the European Space Agency flight engineer, who completed his second flight into space, now having logged 174 days in space.